I survived 100 days of one block skyblock in Hardcore Minecraft, a game mode that begins with a single grass block floating in the void. But this isn't just any old grass block. It speaks to me. And when I break it, it regenerates. Again, and again, and again. The block has 10 different phases, each having a different theme, rewards, and challenges. What? My goals are to finish all 10 phases, defeat the Ender Dragon, and turn this single block into a base that's full of life. Also, I've never played one block before, and this is hardcore. So, this ought to be interesting. Starting off day 0, I did the only thing that I could do and continued breaking the one block. My first chest had some apples and a sapling in it. Nothing too fancy, but the sapling was my ticket to infinite wood, making it invaluable. But not fancy. The one block starts out with a tutorial that explains how everything works. Most of this stuff I already mentioned in the intro, so I'm one step ahead of the game. I got a second chest that was identical to the first. So like driving a new car off the lot, my original sapling had immediately lost half its value. As the one block demonstrates, gravel is still affected by gravity, so it gave me a water bucket I could use to place a block under the one block, making this 2 block. And I figured while I was at it, I'd give myself somewhere else to stand. With those upgrades, the tutorial came to an end, signified by that wandering trader sound and this benevolent gift, a word I haven't seen since my 8th grade vocabulary test. There's a short upgrade timer between phases that gets progressively longer the more you progress, and then a message that welcomes you to the next phase. I've been promised a lifetime of flowers, and I'm holding them to it. Now that the tutorial was done, it was time to actually get to work. I used the planks I had to make slabs and ladders so that I could begin expanding further down, and thus began construction of the pit. The pit, an idea I am shamelessly borrowing from Kalani, is a highly advanced defense mechanism that consists of a hole, or a pit if you will. According to little to no research, when constructed properly, this thing is enough to carry you through all 10 phases. The only problem was, I didn't have enough blocks to construct it yet, and the one block didn't seem too interested in giving me more oak logs to finish it. But it did give me a pig, who seemed just as confused as why he's here as I am. The rest of the night I continued breaking the one block and slowly building out the pit, getting a chicken, a cow, and a sheep to spawn in the process. As the sun rose on day 1, my first tree grew. And I'd just like to mention that if you're curious about any of the packs or the mods I'm using, like the shaders or player animations, there's a Google Doc in the description where you can find links to everything. Being able to grow my own trees meant that I would be able to expand my base faster, and I now had enough planks to fill in the rest of the pit. You, sir, need to move. That's a good idea. With the animals protesting the pit, I planted a 3rd sapling and continued progressing through the one block. The nice thing about this challenge is that anytime I'm stuck or unsure what to do next, I can always just break the block and it feels like I'm accomplishing something. Sounds like the origin of an addiction. The chest gave me a carrot, which really excited the cow, and the pig must have smelled it because he finally got out of my way. And it was time to begin the main platform. Nope, don't do that. Okay. To understand why I'm building that down here, you must first understand the point of the pit. Eventually, the one block is going to start spawning things that want to kill me. So, the pit traps everything that spawns on the one block. But that also includes innocent passive mobs that I want to keep. My ingenious solution was to just build everything below it so that I could drop the passive mobs out of the bottom. With the arrival of the second night, which occurred at the end of day 1, I was beginning to worry about phantoms. I had no way of getting a bed to stop them from spawning, and fighting them off with my bare hands while bare would be a death sentence. I figured the best course of action would be to hit the one block again, so that's what I did. All night. And eventually the one block was satisfied, rewarding me with a grass block and upgrading to phase 2, the underground. This phase promised monsters, and although the one block had already lied about the lifetime supply of flowers, by giving me not a single flower, I was inclined to believe it. I spent the rest of the night formulating a plan. So, no, because I don't know. So with that decided, I started working on the expansion of the main platform. In order for the pit to function properly, I needed to get all of the passive mobs and the trees out of the way. If I could make room for them on the platform below, I'd be able to finish the pit and continue progressing. Around the edge of the platform, I began placing dirt, From there, I could expand outward and give myself more room to plant trees. I made sure to place slabs under the dirt so that I wouldn't lose any if I decided to tear this down later. And with that, I felt confident enough mining the stone I needed for a stone axe to speed up the process. It may not seem like much, but I'd been breaking every block with my fist for almost an hour now. The next upgrade was a fence around the pit, both to keep me from falling in and to keep the bad stuff from getting out. I came up a few fences short though, and I didn't have many planks left, but the slabs from the ledge I just destroyed were recycled for a new border around the edge. This one is better because it's lower down, allowing me to cower behind the fence at the slightest hint of danger. I liked it so much, I made it a row wider, which had nothing to do with my fear of getting knocked off and dying to fall damage. One of the many things that made me vulnerable now were spiders, but I had to be willing to risk it if I wanted to do more than just wait for trees to grow. I upgraded my pickaxe to stone, was reminded that gravity exists, sometimes, and continued mining the one block until something revolutionary happened. Mushroom Cow. My food source for the next 40 days. Because of her, no plants or animals will have to die to keep me fed. So that's one less way they'll die. I then began working on a more permanent solution for getting animals out of the pit, by throwing some trapdoors down. I thought I'd test it on myself first, just to be sure. Get down there. It's safer for you. With the animals out of the pit, I could now start to make some real progress with the one block. The addiction grows stronger. It wasn't long before I got my first taste of danger. A zombie with a nice hat. The pit did pit things, and the axe did axe things. On day 3, the block gave me my first iron. Just 2 ore for now. And then I was forced to face the most challenging part of one block skyblock. Inventory management. A problem that only becomes more and more of a problem as the one block evolves. My solution? Use the one block's own chests against it by creating a chest monster I can dump everything into. For those of you I've just offended, don't worry, it eventually becomes an organized chest monster. I got some soup from the soup cow, and how many times am I going to say it in this video, continued mining the one block. Spiders. Like most bad guys, they prefer not to attack you in broad daylight. Lucky for me, I don't honor that code. With it being day 3, the pressure was on to find a way to deal with phantoms. So I smelted up my iron for a set of shears, and got enough wool to make a bed. So now the biggest threat to my existence is the very thing sustaining it. That and my own ineptitudes. Ooh, big word. The rest of day 3 was focused on the one block. I got some spruce saplings, which would normally be my go-to wood type, but having already built everything out of oak, the spruce was going to have to take the back seat in this playthrough. As great as rabbits are, they're not really suited for this world. I wasn't going to actively dispatch them, but their bones are made of glass, so it was only a matter of time. For the second mushroom cow, I had to rethink my trapdoor design. Now they're in pairs, so I'll have more space to drop things down. Then it was time to explain a concept that I feel like I've explained a million times in my videos. It'll be quick. Phantoms spawn after 3 nights of not sleeping. Laying in a bed counts as sleeping, as shown by the advancement and statistics page. So laying in a bed and getting up resets the phantom cooldown without skipping the night, giving me more time to do stuff like this. I'm not going to be showing every single block I break moving forward, because it takes over 6,000 blocks to finish all 10 phases, but I'll make sure to show you the most important developments, like my first iron pickaxe and shield. I'm still going to be relying on stone picks for a bit, because I'd like to save up for iron armor, but this shield should keep me alive for now. This creeper had no counter for my peekaboo tactics, and the shield may have saved my life here, so good call. With the sun rising on day 4, I used some of the wood and the dirt I'd gathered to build some more spots for trees to grow. The main thing holding me back from expansion at this point was a lack of wood, and a lack of room to grow more of it. Am I ever going to finish this fence? Yeah. Getting my third soup cow gave me the chance to test out the new trapdoor layout. Still kind of scuffed. I felt like I had to be getting close to phase 3 now, so I decided to push for that. There will come a time where the one block isn't my #1 priority. Sad times. But right now, it's really the only way to progress. The final chest of phase 2 gives you a map, so here's the grand reveal. It's like 99% gray, but I like the design that we've got there. With the upgrade bomb ticking, I took the opportunity to clean out my inventory. Phase 3 is the icy tundra, so pretty self-explanatory. Snow, strays, and can we just take a second to appreciate the shield, ladies and gentlemen? When it works, I take the credit, and when it doesn't, I blame the game. Getting a bone from the stray meant that I could make an unlimited water source now. I used the same trick in my regular skyblock video, but basically tall seagrass turns flowing water into source blocks. So I made a place to keep my water, cleaned up, chopped down, and threw down the rest of that fence. The first friendly mob of Phase 3 ended up being a wolf. The word friendly is questionable. I'd like to say that there's a happy ending for the rabbits in this story, but I'm not sure how being avenged is classified. The survivor is the Snow Fox, who narrating me is calling Asteroid. Oh, he's gonna... Well, there go the chickens. Get it? Because dinosaurs. If I was going to lose any of the animals to an extinction event, the chickens were the best, because I can just use eggs to revive them. The one block gave me a goat to make up for it, but then the trees claimed their first victim. Cow murdering trees. I bet you weren't expecting that when you clicked on the video. Unfortunately, cows don't lay eggs, so that was my breeding pair gone. The other tree claimed my third mushroom too, so this was a problem that was going to need to be addressed. The first step of that was making more space. It was at this point I noticed that I was now missing a sheep. Turns out Asteroid still had it out for one more victim. At the time, I thought maybe the goat knocked it off, and I wasn't taking any chances getting pushed into the void myself. Why I continued planting trees after witnessing the first 2 deaths, the world may never know. How did you... Oh, you can just jump out. So in the span of 13 minutes, I'd lost almost half the animals on my island. I finally got the hint that the trees might not be a good idea. And for the safety of the survivors, a border of bottom slabs were